unfortunately. But, you know, what can you do? All right, we're in. Illidank squad has chosen the first map, so we are going to play on Infernal Shrines for
Nice.
our first one, and Sylvanas banned from Meme Team right off the bat, which means we probably will be seeing one of the mages, Josh.
That's good. Yeah, and the Sylvanas ban, expect to see this a lot more after tomorrow also,
Just
because
specialists, if the patch goes live, which technically they've only said Gul'dan's going live
yeah,
so
that's true.
far. Technically, they've only said that. I really, just as a tiny aside, I really hope they hold off a little bit longer and test some of these massive changes more. But if it does go live, I feel like we're going to hit the dawn of the specialist patch.
Yeah,
And
wave
it's a very
clears.
big, yeah. But I mean, wave clear on Infernal Shrines right now is very powerful. And so that's the Sylvanas and the Zul ban. But this leaves Kael'thas open to Meme Team.
This leaves Kael'thas open. This leaves Illidan still on the table. I think Illidan, a lot of people are kind of hesitant to play him on this map sometimes, but I actually really like him. I think he maybe is a bit undervalued by some teams on this map, but you have to be ready. And also, it's kind of hard to first pick Illidan if you know that the enemy team is capable of responding in an effective way. So, kind of a scary decision here for Meme Team as their Sylvanas ban ends up with them facing the Kale or Illidan. It might not even be Kale, honestly, because he has received changes. I think arguably the changes help him a lot on this map,
Okay.
and I don't even know what to say.
So this is not Gazlo. This is Sonya. Because apparently Sonya was grayed out and they couldn't pick it. So both teams in chat agreed that Gazlo is Sonya. So don't freak out, Josh. Don't freak out.
Okay, I'm.
I wasn't gonna tell you so you could freak out a little bit, but
No one ordered a one-man wrecking crew.
no.
Apparently, why is Sonya grayed out?
I don't know.
She actually was banned at the qualifier.
Yeah,
I
because of
think.
a bug or something maybe?
Yeah, I think there's a bug. So I don't know what the ruling on that from our side is, like if she's actually banned for this or what. But
Regardless, that is
we have a Sonya low.
yep, a Sonya low. And then of course with that Kael'thas being free, he's snapped right up by Illidank squad.
Yeah, and I mean, our Illidank squad has so many options here. I mean, they can grab a support right now if they want to do that, and I think that might not be a bad idea.
No, it's kind of interesting, right? Because this is basically if this patch goes live, like we were saying, this is the last patch, or this is the last day, I should say, that Muradin will have his unstoppable
Okay,
dwarf toss.
we're hearing that Sonya is banned in the chat, so
Oh, okay.
I think we're gonna have to potentially redraft,
We might have to.
and we'll just keep bans. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I guess the teams didn't get the memo on that one, but yeah, there is a bug with Sonya. It was kind of not really sure why, but it was kept very quiet, and it only like I saw players talking to Blizzard employees about it on Twitter. But it seems like it was kept very quiet, and that result means that I guess maybe teams did not know that it was banned. So it sounds like you're taking care of that in chat.
Yeah, we're taking care of that. We're just gonna redraft. We're just gonna redraft this real
Okay.
fast because the teams were not aware that Sony was banned, and I honestly had no idea that Sony was banned initially.
I don't know how the bug occurs, but heard is that there's some kind of bug under certain circumstances she will triple auto attack somebody. I don't know if that's true. I have not seen the bug
Oh
or
dang,
reproduced it. Yes, I
that sounds painful.
again I have not seen it. I have not reproduced it. I do not know how to do that. So
Don't ask you.
don't ask me how to do it. I don't know. I've heard that this is a thing. So this draft is dead.
It's
It is.
dead.
It is in the grave.
It's dead. I am making a new drafting session. We're just gonna use Heroes Draft real fast.
We're throwing out this draft. This draft is done. This draft has been hit by a one-man wrecking crew.
One-man wrecking crew. All right. Sorry for the mix-up, guys. We'll be sure to warn our teams about that now that we are aware. All right. Meme team. Draft link has been posted.
Okay. Somebody in chat saying it's a double auto attack. I knew it was some kind of multi-attack. That stat should not exist in this game. So, multi-strike is not a thing.
Multi-strike is not a thing, and it's not going to be a thing in WoW for much longer.
No,
either.
it's going. Yeah,
it is. It's going away.
It's going out.
It's going away.
So yeah, I've heard that there's actually several multi-auto attack bugs in the game, but that hers is the one that can be reproduced most easily. I don't know. I can only assume that it's been kept quiet because there wasn't an easy way to fix it right away.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to globally disable Sonya, but that, again, is just speculation. I don't know. So.
Yeah. Okay, new links are out.
My goodness.
My goodness. Well, we're aware now.
Okay. This probably changes your draft strategy a little bit if you know you're not going to take Sonya. Or you cannot take Sonya, rather. So, be interesting to see what they do. If we see the same bans. Honestly, I think the bans are fine on this map because both those heroes are very strong on this map.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're just trying to get the draft sorted out in chat here, guys.
Yeah.
That's sort of what TBK is doing right now. Just making sure that we get everybody in the new draft. The new draft is up. We're just waiting for both teams to get into it. I guess, like I said, when one team had Sonya, Sonya's globally banned right now. I guess actually it was properly banned in the draft client.
Yeah,
that's probably why it was grayed out, right?
Yeah, that's what I assume. It wasn't an actual bug. It was actually the real thing. So.
Yeah, so that is an issue, but we are going to go into this draft soon. Again, it's on Infernal Shrines. This is Game 1, the best of 3. We're talking Division 1 playoffs here between Meme Team and Illidank squad. Meme Team, the 4th seed in this division with a 7-1 score. Illidank squad down the standings a little bit with a 7-5 standing record, but they've won the same amount of games as Meme Team. So guess we'll see if Illidank squad's losses proved useful in learning more about the game so they can take on the Meme Team. Hopefully we will have that draft for you very shortly. We have one team ready to go.
Yep, one team's ready. Sorry, guys. There was lots of confusion.
Yeah.
We're in. Okay. Awesome.
All right. So, will we see Specialist Spanned again? I wouldn't be surprised. I think even with the knowledge that Sonya... Oh, okay, Meme Team's going to mix it up. They're like, yeah, we don't want to play against Illidan if we can't have Sonya. It's actually not a bad idea. Sonya pretty good against Illidan, honestly. So
yeah,
if you know you don't have access to her and maybe that was your trump card against Illidan, I guess it makes sense to just feel like we don't want to play against that.
Yeah, and I can understand. I mean, for a team named Illidank Squad, maybe they've got someone who plays Illidan really well.
That's quite possible. They might play him in a very dank fashion, so they need to be careful about how they approach this. And Illidank squad going to follow up with the Zul ban. So now Meme Team with the first pick, they could go Sylvanas if they think that that's valuable enough.
Mm-hmm.
They still have Kale on the table. So,
seeing as they ban the Sylvanas, they might be apt to pick it up. originally.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite possible that they would pick it up. Like, I actually think that the adjustment for Meme Team here is fine because, like, if you know you can get Sonya, then you can let Illidan go. Like, that honestly is what Meme Team is saying here. Like, you know, we thought we could leave Illidan on the table because we would have Sonya.
Yeah.
Since Sonya is now banned, that has changed the way they want to draft. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna get the first pick, Kale Thoss from Meme Team.
Okay, so not too surprising. Kale is insane, but my hope is with this next patch, he'll be pushed down a little bit to where he's not this like insta ban, insta pick material.
Yeah, I think that may happen. Gravity Crush specifically getting slightly toned down, I think, is helpful. And honestly, I don't know that he will become like it's weird because Kale's always either been like really good or like mostly passed over. And I don't know that we've ever had a really good point of Kale balance since the hero has come out. So it'll be interesting to see if we achieve that. I sort of don't think that's the case. But
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to see Rhaegar from Illidank. Still considered an extremely good support. Still considered pretty much top, I would say, most of the time. And Lunara. I love seeing this, especially on these PvE type objectives. She's incredibly good against multiple small minions and especially for killing Punishers with some of her talents.
yeah, no, Lunara is really good, and also when you take Rhaegar and you take Lunara, you're saying, well, okay, who exactly are you going to play against Lunara? Because Uther tends to struggle against her. Karazim can definitely struggle against her just because of how widespread her damage can be. So that's really what I like from Illidank squad here. Like picking Lunara early, maybe not the best strategy, but when you take Rhaegar off the table at the same time, that is really like a great move from Illidank squad. And now Meme Team is going to potentially take Kerrigan.
I would love to see this. We don't see enough Kerrigan, and it is. Oh, I like that. I love seeing Kerrigan.
Yeah, this is really good on this map specifically. This is another thing that may go away with the patch. They tried to make her a little bit less focused on certain talents, and those talents make her very good on this map. So they're trying to sort of like make her better across more maps. Most competitive players have stated that it is not a buff in any way, and honestly an overall nerf. So I guess we'll see, but for the moment it looks like we might see even less of her after the patch. We're going to see the Uther ban from Illidank squad. I actually like this, even though Uther is maybe not the best against Lunara. Karazim having to stand near other people means that it's even more opportunities for Lunara to use her Q, as well as potentially her Thornwood Vine if she goes at heroic to just absolutely throw the damage over time effects on the grouped up enemies on Meme Team. There are other support options, but without Lunara on the table, it's kind of scary to go for something a bit more niche.
Yeah, I like the denial of the D shield too. It is just really good, especially for Kerrigan.
Yeah, so that's true. I mean, that was definitely like in the old days, the Uther Kerrigan combination was like, oh yeah, you better get rid of that Uther, or we'll get Kerrigan and Uther. But maybe not as potent nowadays. But I'm interested to see now what Meme Team does. Do you still take Karazim as your support? Do you go for something crazy like maybe
Mal
double
Brightwing?
Yeah, I mean double right now leaves you without a tank, but I mean we have seen warriorless compositions. I don't know if Meme Team's used to doing something like that.
A Kerrigan warriorless composition would be tough. And Illidank grabbing Johanna and grabbing Abathur too. I absolutely love this because Lunara clone is extremely powerful.
Yeah, this comp from Illidank squad all of a sudden like kind of morphed because they had the second pick, right? All we could see was Rhaegar and Lunara, and we get to the halfway point. Certainly, Johanna, Abathur, and Abathur's another hero we're going to see a lot more of after the patch, I think, especially if those minion changes stay the way they are. So very, very interesting. Like you said, the Lunara clone is very good, and we probably will see the clone, not the other heroic. So
Yeah, that's. I mean, this map is technically big enough to see a monstrosity, but
it is, but
the
I don't
clone
think
is so useful, especially if you've got some really good clone. And honestly, Illidank can pick anything for their fifth. They're pretty well rounded right now. We aren't going to see a Thrall, but maybe a Zagara.
Yeah, we could see last hurrah of old Zagara for sure.
Because this is potentially, the last day for old Zagara, and then she's getting a pretty massive rework, and we're gonna see Lili and Muradin. So maybe the Muradin last hurrah too before he loses that amazing unstoppable on his dwarf toss. And honestly, I've been playing with Lili a lot recently, Josh, and I've been playing her W build. And I must say, that thing is pretty insane.
Oh,
but
no.
what would also be insane is if Artanis was picked on Illidank's side.
Okay, so normally I actually like Artanis Abathur. The only thing here is actually, like, I know people are going to be like, oh, Lili Blinds, haha, but like, Lili Blinds are actually really good against Artanis.
Yeah, they really are, because Artanis's auto attacks are his bread and butter to stay alive, to proc that shield.
Yeah, so not only are you reducing his damage, you're also reducing his survivability, especially into the late game. So we will get the Artanis. So honestly, I actually like this Lili pick. It doesn't directly deal with the issue of the Lunara, but I think the blinds are good against Artanis, and they're good against Lunara. Mm-hmm. And if there's a clone on the field, it's great against a clone, because like we're probably going to see Lunara or Artanis cloned, right? So
yeah,
it's good against that. And if the clone's not present, you're more likely to hit Lunara and Artanis with the wins, because there's just fewer bodies around.
Sure.
So I actually really like this. I think the real question is there going to be enough healing?
Yeah, and that's the question. And the really hard thing with Lili is, I mean, you've got Jugs, right? And I guess only Johanna can technically interrupt that.
Yeah, I think.
But she has a few tools to do so.
Not only does she have a few tools, but they're pretty reliable.
Yeah, especially Blessed Shield.
Yeah.
It's very good interrupt for that Lili ult. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, both teams have some very reliable minion clear. Illidank, if they can poke and kind of draw out the shrine fights, they should be able to get ahead just in the Abathur soak. But then at the same time, you'll have Sylvanas on the other side, who can, in some ways, counter that Abathur at least a little bit as far as push potential goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think a big thing about Illidank squad's comp is going to be how the Abathur plays out. I would really want to see, is this going to be, like, mine build on this map feels kind of, I mean, you can put the mines in places where you know people are going to rotate, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this objective, unlike like a tribute on Cursed Hollow, is one that you don't necessarily want to start it right away. So delaying somebody is not as valuable necessarily as on Cursed Hollow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll see mine build, but also we don't have the changes in the game yet that really buff some of the symbiote abilities that Abathur has. So probably I think we'll see maybe standard Abathur build with some mines, some push, but I guess we'll see. Like, this is a really interesting comp from Illidank squad, and the Artanis plus Abathur can be infuriating. So
yes,
really scary,
incredibly infuriating, especially if you take those slow mines.
Yeah,
on this big a map too. If you can get those in the right spots, that can really delay people getting to team fights or getting to shrines in time.
Yeah, I think for meme team, like, you have high value picks that you may should draft early because of the priority on Lunara. Like, you have, Sylvanas, you have the Kerrigan. The thing about Kerrigan is I think you really only have the Lunara as a really great target. I mean, Rhaegar, if you could get him, sure, but it's going to be harder to do. So interesting to see how that Kerrigan works out. I think that's going to be the big storyline for me on the meme team side.
Yeah. So over on the side of Meme Team, we have Subak on Sylvanas, Sintage on Muradin, Glucose Setwig.
I think it's Glucose Twig.
You know, Josh, I'm saying the names here.
All right, my bad.
Whoever, whatever you want to say, if you want to say my way or Josh's way, he's playing Lili. Korokov. It's like Russian on Kerrigan, and Garuda 1 on Kael'thas. Good lord.
On the side of Illidank squad, Chess Looter on Artanis, Shiralune on Johanna, I guess. Ulfbert on Rhaegar. I guess I had the worst names, TBK. Don't laugh at me. Decimate on Lunara and the Dickens.
At least the Dickens is easy to say.
Oh,
and you can make good plays off of that.
Yeah, no, the Dickens, I remember this name because I remember using it. So, Shiralune is going to get hit by the Kerrigan combo. The follow-up is not there. The Gravity Lapse will miss in the mid. Garuda taking so much damage. The swap from Chess Looter very much on point. And already, we're seeing the low mobility heroes on the side of Meme Team. They're going to need to be careful about that Artanis.
Yeah. Ulf on the bottom on Rhaegar with a nice juke to that Sylvanas combo. And Lunara actually on the top has gotten a good extra wave while everybody was just kind of dancing around in the middle. And
Chess Looter almost secured the kill on the bottom on Artanis. She was trying to go for the Sylvanas. She may have shot Haunting Wave away and dodged the swap, which is good. In the middle, though, Johanna taking a lot of damage. Chess Looter is here, too. It seems like he's everywhere. Just trying to do as much damage as he can to Sintage. And that's the thing about Artanis. You're willing to trade. You can trade. You know that if you're below 50% health, you're going to have that shield.
Yeah.
You're going to have it pretty consistently. And he's doing his best to just be a bully. He's walking into lanes. He's trading with people. He knows, he feels confident with the character. This is a good sign early for Illidank squad, but as the first shrine spawns at the top, both teams pretty even on XP.
Yeah. I love what Chess Looter is doing, just putting so much pressure on that Kael'thas. And that's exactly what they're going to need to do to that Kael'thas to keep him completely ineffective as long as they can. Looks like we have a disconnect. Yep. So Abathur's going to move to the bottom.
Okay.
Okay.
Seems like we're good, so I guess it's not a 3-2-3. And we're going to be good. Alright. So back in the game, Chess Looter already working on this shrine, and this is another thing about Artanis. He's pretty good at get around the shrine. You can get a couple good W's, and even with the ability to just, oh wow, but actually Decimate getting hit by the Stormbolt, then getting hit by the Gravity Lapse, the Flame Strike will finish that, and Chess Looter needs to be careful. He gets hit. He's down, and Rhaegar escapes with like 79 HP.
Yeah, Abathur with a quick symbiote shield onto Ulf just to help save him. But this is going to be Meme Team's strategy the whole time. That Lunara is going to have to be so careful not to be out of position because the stuns and the burst damage, she's really the only super burstable member of Illidank squad.
Love the confidence from Meme Team. Subak on Sylvanas there was low health. Trusted in the fact that he had his healer with him, his team was with him, and his low health caused some really bad decisions by Illidank squad. So I really love that confidence from Meme Team, and now they're quite ahead. They're almost 20 ahead on these minions. But it looks like Illidank squad's going to move in and try and cut some people off.
Yeah, they've got the double warrior comp. They're putting a lot of damage on Sintage. He has to dwarf toss out of there. Kerrigan having to pull back as well. And they're just trying to take over the shrine as well as they can. With the Abathur comp, they're a little weaker early game just because they're missing that extra body. Abathur getting some really good soak at the bottom, but so much damage coming out from that Illidan. And unfortunately, the shrine is picked up by Meme Team. Chess Looter trying to get out of there as much as he can. And he's putting up a good fight. Little stall tactic. Oh, with 10 health, manages to get out of there. And so now Illidank is just going to have to defend this fort as well as they can. And like I said, this is one of the the bad things about the Abathur early game, right? So you can have that extra soak, you can have that extra push, but missing that extra body can really hurt a lot.
It's an Abathur early game, also against a Kerrigan early game.
Yes.
And Kerrigan, the Kerrigan combo there was pretty much what sealed that fight. She walked up, meleeed Artanis a couple times, Kerrigan combo onto Artanis, and I think it also hit the Johanna, and it was good. And now Chest Looter on the wrong side of the wall, but it's passive, and some heals from Rhaegar will keep him alive for the moment.
Okay, so first Punisher down. We've got about a level of difference. Lili already back in the middle soaking, and Illidank's squad just now hitting 7 really needs to get that lane pressure up again. Abathur's been doing a really good job soaking bottom, but he hasn't been able to get a whole lot of extra value out of the soak because Muradin came straight down as soon as that Punisher was up.
Yeah, like you said, Meme Team a full level ahead at this point. They have a fort over Illidank squad, so Meme Team, this is a really good position for them. But they need their early game to be good. So I would say this is according to plan for Meme Team, because with the Abathur later game, it's gonna be potentially be a lot more difficult, especially once we hit 10.
Yeah. Yeah, once we can get that Lunara or that Artanis clone coming in, the team fights could see a lot of shift, because we do have an amazingly excellent front line on the side of Illidank squad between Artanis and Johanna. So if they can keep Decimate safe and let Decimate poke, Decimate is going to be able to decimate the enemy.
And
I was looking for another word, but I couldn't think of it.
Decimate was actually the target of a gank in the top lane. Kael'thas was hiding, and Sylvanas actually thought that she could maybe make something happen there, but it didn't. Decimate juked the gravity lapse and got out of there. So good work from him, but Shirlune actually going to get hit by the Kerrigan combo. Gets the cleanse actually from Rhaegar. Gets out of there. I don't think the cleanse actually stopped anything, but it did guarantee that he could get behind the wall. So
yeah, and that was good by Ulf to preemptively do that. He saw it. He didn't know probably if Johanna had Unstoppable. So that
she didn't have it. I'm pretty sure she popped it right before that. So
yeah. So I mean, that's really good. Unfortunately, Meme Team is now 10, and the Shrine is up. There's not a whole lot that Illidank squad can do about this.
Yeah, no, Illidank squad doing the right thing here. It's very tempting to be like, maybe we can make something happen, but you can't. You gotta probably
you soak. This is exactly what they need to do. They need to soak to 10. If they lose the Punisher, at least they'll be 10. They'll be able to fight on even ground. They're taking mercenary camps right now. They're definitely doing the right things.
Yeah, if you do not get to level 10 before that Punisher gets captured, it's going to be difficult to defend the Punisher anyways. So really good decision making from them, and Garuda actually forced to come down here to clean up the wave with the Go Bros pushing the bottom. And we are going to see a 4-man push in the middle. They're actually leaving the Shrine up.
Falling Sword, Josh. Ult's going out, Falling Sword comes down. The Blinds doing some really good work, but Kerrigan falling very fast. Lunara is taken down, however, but Cyanogen so low. Everyone is getting so low. The Ancestral goes out. Beautiful work on Chest Looter. The Dickens with the Lunara clone doing really good work as well. And wow, Illidank holds that quite impressively.
Yeah, so Illidank making us some of the XP deficit there. The Lunara clone did so much damage. Just so much damage. And then the Ancestral from Rhaegar, keeping Chest Looter on Artanis alive. I feel like that Ancestral was just an absolute... It was a dagger, you know? You see that Ancestral land and you're like, oh no, it's Artanis all over again.
Yeah, because then you have to deal with his 50% health bar, and then however many more percent his shield ends up equaling. And I loved the Falling Sword right off the bat, because it stunned 3 members. It got a lot of good value, and it really put a ton of pressure on Kerrigan, who had jumped straight into the middle. They did end up getting Lunara, but they really paid for it.
Yeah, and they honestly won that fight in spite of a huge Kerrigan combo.
Yeah.
Like it was massive. 3 people got hit by it. So, and now they're actually another Falling Sword coming down. Korokov gets hit, but okay, so the clone is actually eliminated. Shirlune just trying to box out for his team. The Punisher's still alive here. the silence goes out, and unfortunately, that's going to be the death of Chest Looter.
Yeah, that was a beautiful wailing arrow by Sylvanas. So much damage going out. Unfortunately, the Punisher caught out Lunara again, and man, Johanna going down as well. This is not good for Illidank squad, which is unfortunate because they were looking so good, but they just ended up getting caught out too much.
The scary thing about losing a team fight to a team that has Sylvanas is that they can always push their luck. And it doesn't look like they're going to do it here, but there's definitely the potential to try and go mid and get some damage on that keep. They're not going to do it here, but Chest Looter needs to be careful. He walks right into that camp, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. We do have the Artanis clone come down, though. Both Artanises get hit by the gravity laps. Chest Looter in the middle of everything drops his ult. The Ancestral does land. The Falling Sword's going to hit 4 targets. That was huge, TVK.
Yeah.
And now the Dick is just using this clone to rip apart the enemy team. So much damage from the Artanis.
Not only that, the Lili ult was completely interrupted by that falling sword. Lunara, both the clone and Decimate, doing such an amazing job. They were able to save their camp and get 2 kills on top of that. And they're probably going to be able to get this other shaman camp, no problem.
That was just an incredible team fight from Illidank squad. The Abathur clone was so well timed because they knew, okay, yeah, they're invading, but we're going to stop it. They got the clone up. The Ancestral from Ulf. Just on point. Again, a dagger.
On Artanis, too.
Yeah.
And these Ancestrals on Artanis just have to be the most annoying thing for Meme Team. Because Artanis is so hard to take down anyways. And once you get them that low, you're like, yes, we've got... Oh, crap.
It's also really hard to run away from a double Artanis, especially after the change where he has a minor sort of zealot charge. Baseline, like... He can get up in your face. He can Q through your team. You try and run away. He can get hit by the swap, and it's so infuriating. Like I'm frustrated watching the game because the double Artanis is just woof.
What's great is Illidank squad is really taking these team fights and making them their own. They've gotten a ton of mercenary power, pushing power right now. Meme Team has been just having to go all over the map to stop this. They're going to start out on the... Oh, they're going to pull back. Meme Team has just said, oh, well, you guys are going to get the shrine? Fine, we're going to pressure you down mid.
I actually like this. Okay, they all did back. I thought that maybe the plan here was going to be, let's use a clone to just make it look like we're rotating. That didn't end up happening. They all ended up rotating, but that was, I mean, a great call from Meme Team.
It's super smart because they saw the clone had been popped. And so they went middle, and they basically wasted Abathur's clone.
And not only was that ult wasted, now Illidank squad, like, Meme Team is so close to 16, Illidank has to do something right now.
Yeah,
and it looks like they are going to try and do that.
They're getting very aggressive. Suppression Pulse is up, and against this team, Suppression Pulse is actually quite powerful with that Kerrigan, with the Sylvanas auto attacks. Lots of damage going out. Falling Sword going down. Ends up hitting 2 members of the team. Muradin first to fall.
Yeah, and Kerrigan, Korakov looking for something on the Rhaegar at the end there as consolation, but no. The Falling Sword is actually coming through in a big way.
It really is.
Not only is it a little bit maybe more reliable to land given the front line of Meme Team, like a little bit easier to land on the Lili, but Meme Team is constantly grouped up. And Illidank squad, you know, Shiralune using that Falling Sword, really making them pay for that in every fight.
So Meme Team is actually just completely giving this shrine up. They hit 16, but they wanted to wait for Muradin to get back. Abathur doing an absolutely amazing job soaking everything up, and they are going to hit 16 and be able to push with this Punisher if they want. I don't see any reason why they won't be able to get this fort, Josh.
Yeah, that should be fine. It looks like Meme Team is just going to accept that again. Meme Team showing that they understand that some fights you can't take, and in this case, they're just going to content themselves with the GoPros at the bottom. And now they're going to back. They'll probably make sure that they don't get Keep, that Illidank squad can't push through to Keep, which should be fine given that they're on equal talent here. This shouldn't be much of an issue to stop, but I guess we'll see. A good team fight from Illidank could definitely shake things up.
And this is what they need to do. They left Sylvanas down there to push with that Khazra camp as long as possible. But now she's going to come back up. They need that Wailing Arrow if Illidank decides to push in.
How much scarier is that Punisher leap when you know that Falling Sword is available? Like,
yeah.
That's so much scarier. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but Chesslooter actually going to get hit by the Stormbolt. There's the Falling Sword. It goes on to Korokov, and Korokov is very low. The Ancestral goes out on Chesslooter. It will connect. However, Shiraluna is going to fall. Everybody getting so low. Decimate just trying to get away from Sintage. Sintage does secure the kill, and Ulf is very low as well, and it looks like Subak will get away. Chesslooter will fall here. And what? No, they're actually going to let him go, TVK. My goodness.
Well, I mean, it is Artanis with an Abathur. So, 3 for 2.
Yeah.
We got some decent push. The keep is now exposed. Abathur still soaking on the bottom. XP is neck and neck. Yeah. And honestly, structures are super close too. That fort on the bottom is not long for this world. It's super close. One concentrated push will end up getting that. Looks like, though, because of all the deaths, Mean Team is going to rotate down. They're going to steal that aggressive Khazra camp and then probably start to take their own stuff.
Yeah, and at this point, Illidank has to do something. They have to make sure they don't lose this bottom fort for no reason. They are going to go up and do their Fallen Shaman. They do now. There is also a camp for Meme Team pushing middle. So this is actually a good spot for Meme Team because even though it wasn't like a decisive team fight win, they just had like a 1-kill advantage. They have been able to stay out on the map and capture most of the objectives.
Ooh, I love this aggressive scouting by the Wisp. They see that Meme Team is down bottom. They're going to attack that fort. The fort is basically lost, so they're stealing this aggressive Shaman camp right here, and this is going to be a ton of pressure on the top with both these Shaman camps pushing.
That's the thing, like you look at what just happened and you see Meme Team and they got the fort, right? And you're like, oh, that's not good. They lost a fort. The double Fallen Shaman demands a response.
Yes.
It absolutely demands a response.
You can't leave that. That will kill the keep. It will.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they all went back.
Yeah. And this is great for Illidank squad because this gives them a massive head start on the objective, and it's 16, almost 17 minutes into the game. These Punishers are actually starting to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and this Punisher will go mid. So it is actually the most defended lane for Meme Team. So they're probably okay with this trade. And we will see the fight break out in the mid TVK as Sintage goes in. The Pulse hits 4 members. Falling Sword going to connect on Kerrigan and Kael'Thoth. Shiralune trying to get Sintage, but Chesslooter, his passive doing so much work. He's very low. The Ancestral doesn't connect, TVK.
That was super unfortunate. If that Ancestral had connected, this fight would have been completely different, but Rhaegar is going to go down. The clone is going to follow as well. They did manage to get the Punisher, though, and that will require some sort of a response, but because they've still got a fort in the middle, they're doing the smart thing. They're going to move in on this middle keep, and Decimate is going to have to be super careful. If he dies here, that could incite them to core push, but because of his insane poke, that might just keep them from pushing in all the way, and maybe they'll be satisfied with just the keep.
Yeah. Oh, nice juke from Decimate. He needs to be careful. It's so easy to get greedy.
Oh, they're going to try it.
It's so easy to get greedy, but he has so much poke, and he needs to be careful, and it looks like, they're, like you said, they're going to go for it. Sintage taking a lot of damage. The Cups does come out. I think they're just calling for the back at this point, or at least just a second, but no, they're going to go. Subak has to bolt away from the tower to not be killed.
Yeah. This was a really good call on their part. It would have been close, but they didn't want to deal with the potential wipe. Although, at this point, just looking at the map, Illidank doesn't have the best entryway for a kill lane to finish the core off.
And
they only lost a keep. Their core is hurt, but I mean, at this point in the game, it's going to be an all-in. They're not going to lose the court because of the core because of 64%. They're going to lose it because they wiped it in team fight.
Yeah, you're right. That's probably going to be the case. But on a map as big as this, you can force core pressure in weird situations. So I guess we'll see Shiralune a little bit separated from his team, and he's going to go the long way around. But they're not willing to go in there.
Does have Falling Sword though, just in case.
And I think Meme Team correctly said they have a lot of people who can move pretty fast. I don't want to go into that bush because I don't want to know what happens next. So
yeah, right now, Illidank squad is just looking for that opening. They're looking to see if they can get that 1 or 2 kills. Top lane is very much open for aggression to lose that keep. We've only got 1 tower left in the middle lane as well. Only bottom lane is still got all of its defenses left. Honestly, this is anybody's game at this point, Josh.
Yeah, like, I think if either side decisively wins a team fight, it's over. Because, yeah, even though there's a keep up, you have
At this point, you
Lunara,
can push fast enough to finish a keep and the core.
and we are going to see the clone come out from Abathur just to help do some siege damage here. Probably Meme Team will just hesitate to engage into it. The Dickens is going to do as much as he can with it, but time is already almost elapsed, so it's pretty much going to be the end of that. I'd be surprised if Meme Team doesn't try and turn the tide. Now that Sure Luna is missing a bit of health and the clone is down. But they don't really get a great opportunity yet. Oh, the double jump, but no, Korkov is gonna opt out of that one.
Chest Looter getting stunned, kind of separated from his team. The Ancestral does go down. Falling Sword is going to come down as well as the Suppression. Subak so low, going to have to back off. Sinchich taking a ton of damage. But Kel'Thas over on the side just getting to free cast completely. Decimate is going to go down. Kel'Thas has died. Sure Luna is going to fall as well, and it looks like it's going to be... Look at this Artanis. It's going to be a 4-man wipe, and this is Meme Team's opportunity right here.
Yes, unlike Artanis' quote, you know, our time has come. The time of Meme Team has come because there is nothing impeding them from ending the game at this point. They are missing Kale, but I don't think the Abathur solo defense is going to happen, as crazy as that would be.
That would be amazing. But we are 21 and a half minutes into the game. Level 22. I mean, the damage they should be able to... I mean, you can just see it right now. The damage they can do to core, you just can't defend that. And a very good game. A very close game that pretty much just came down to that last team fight.
I think one of the crazy things about this game is that if you look at the kills, Meme Team had 18 and Illidank only had 8. But Illidank actually exploited a lot of the openings that they got from winning team fights very well, and they won team fights at moments where it seemed improbable, and it ultimately kept them in the game the entire time, despite the fact that they had lost, you know, over twice as many people.
Yeah.
So,
no,
really good job from them.
Very good job from them. And good job to Glucose and Subak for no deaths. I'm surprised
Subak never died.
I know.
Several times where he was very close to death, and somehow he made it out.
Yeah, that was a. I would say that was a fantastic first playoff game, Josh.
Yeah, that was
really
just
back and
great.
forth.
And again,
I
like,
loved it.
Both teams have won the same amount of games during the regular season. Illidank squad has lost 5 compared to Meme Team's 1, but I think you look at that game and these teams feel pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
So. Great job to both. I honestly have to give the MVP on the side of Meme Team to Korokov. The Kerrigan play was very good, and in many cases was what allowed them to apply early pressure in team fights. I mean, Subak obviously not dying, top siege, top hero damage, like, that's great, but you're going to die on Kerrigan. It's just a fact of life. Like, if you die 0 times on Kerrigan, you probably didn't go ham enough. That's fine.
Now, Meme Team definitely deserved that win. They did a really good job. Honestly, though, if that last team fight where Rhaegar missed the Ancestral, that could have been such a big game changer. Honestly.
I thought it was gonna connect. It looked like it was, and then I realized how late it was, and then I was like, maybe the passive will go off one more time and give him just enough time, but nah. It was so close, though. Like you said, the balance of the game hung on that ult. If it had gone off, it's quite possible that they could have turned it around.
Yeah.
So, very good first game. So, if you're joining us right now, that was Infernal Shrines, and the score in the series is 1-0 in favor of Meme Team over Illidank Squad. Sonya is globally banned. So, again, something to consider when you're looking at the drafts, and the reason that Illidan is probably going to be banned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we're getting round 2 going. Meme Team is going to get to pick the map this time around. Whew. Man, that was a good game 1.
So, Meme Team is going to be picking second, right? Because they have map picks, so...
Yep.
I guess
Be picking second this time around.
I guess we'll see. Like they felt very comfortable on Infernal Shrines, and it wasn't their map. So
yeah, no, they did a very good job for sure.
All right, so I guess we're just waiting on that map
just
pick.
Waiting. They're talking it over. The suspense.
It's a huddle.
The suspense. Oh, Towers of Doom.
My goodness, thank
Yes.
you so much.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
This is another map that's going to see some pretty serious changes in the patch. Not because the map is changed, but just because of all the other changes. If they go live, especially the minion damage change, this map is going to be very different. So
yes,
gaze upon it in its current glory, and perhaps look forward to seeing its future incarnations. But this is my favorite map.
Oh, this is probably my favorite map to cast, just because there's so many team fights, and it just makes me super happy.
I honestly think that the last match had a lot of team fights too.
Did.
Honestly, I can only imagine what this is going to be like.
Like both these teams are very aggressive, and I mean, like you said, Meme Team had Kerrigan, so you've got to be aggressive with Kerrigan, but
yeah,
it's just fun.
It felt like there was so much lockdown from Meme Team. Like if a Stormbolt lands, you have Gravity last follow up. You can stand still Kerrigan combo someone. Like it was just so much CC on Meme Team. So
oh yeah,
honestly, I think that might be what was really missing on Illidank Squad. Like you look at that team, and I guess Johanna. Like you could slow people, you could swap people, but the hard stuns, like we said, are on Johanna. So. Guess we'll see. I think there's a lot of potential for weird stuff on this map, like Vikings. Definitely possible on this map if there's somebody who feels comfortable with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're talking like split Vikings, not what we've seen in some NA and EU games, like the triple Vikings top on Dragonshire, which is pretty cool. But you won't see triple Vikings in a lane here, probably.
No. That would be just ridiculous.
That's pretty quick match, as we say.
Yeah, that's
that's pretty quick match.
I did love seeing the Falling Sword last game though.
Oh, the Falling Sword I think was actually a good pick. Just because Meme Team was grouping up constantly, and like you could probably hit Muradin and Kerrigan.
Yeah.
And you also know that you can jump over the Muradin and Kerrigan and get to the Lili if you have to. So I actually think that was a fine pick. I don't think Illidank Squad really had the ability to like chase. They didn't really have a wonderful chase. I mean, I guess Lunara and to a certain extent Artanis, but like Bless Shield, it's not going to combo into like any other CC. So Falling Sword actually kind of helps you chase better in some situations. So overall, I think that was a fun pick. I've been talking about how I want to see more Falling Sword, and Shirlene gave it to me.
Yeah,
so thank you.
that was really good because you just don't get to see that often, so it's really fun to see it.
It got misclicked one time.
It did get misclicked one time.
It was McIntyre, right? Who misclicked it?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, guys, I misclicked it. And whatever. He made it work. They won that game.
He did. Yeah, he did. He made it work.
I don't think it's as... Like, a lot of people are like, oh, Falling Sword is so much worse than Blessed Shield. I don't think it's that far behind. I think there's arguments for it. I'm gonna just say it. That maybe I'm a renegade, but...
You renegade.
I'm not the renegade, Tychus Finley. But...
I love that the teams have portrait synergized.
Yeah, no, that's good. Portrait synergy is really important.
That makes it very helpful for me when I'm setting the teams up. I very much appreciate that.
That's true. They're probably doing it for you.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. Wow, that's so easy. I like how meme team is Sonya. What kind of Sonya meme is there? I don't know. There's the whole Sonya looks like Eminem meme.
Yeah.
So I can only assume that that's the meme that's being alluded to here.
Okay. Let me get this draft started.
By the way, if you guys haven't seen that meme, simply Google Sonya Eminem.
Really? That's a thing.
What? Yes, it is a thing.
I've just never seen this before. I need to take a minute, guys, and Google this.
I don't know. I don't know if I can post links in chat, but
You can. You're modded, so you do
Oh.
that while I get these things set up. How about that?
Okay. I will do that.
Yeah, you do that.
Sonya does kind of look like Eminem. I'm sorry. There you go.
As an aside, there's
I
our link.
may or may not have at one time for 1 minute changed Sonya's name in our app to Eminem. I reverted it immediately, but
Oh my gosh.
it's a good one.
That's funny. That's funny.
And if you actually look at, it's actually more like the old Sonya face looks more like Eminem because they updated her like key art or whatever
Uh-huh.
a while ago, and it looks less like her now. Or maybe, yeah, I think it used to. The updated one looks more like her actually.
Mm.
The old one looked less. The old one, she had like a huge forehead, and they changed it, and now it looks like Eminem. So there we have it.
Yeah. All right, just waiting for meme team. Illidank squad is ready.
Oh. Stop. I'll stop memeing.
Stop memeing. And we're in. All right, Illidank squad with the first pick, first ban.
I mean, you're in. I'm not in. Okay, here we go. Sorry. All right, enough Sonya. There definitely won't be a Sonya pick here. So
No, there will not be a Sonya pick. As Sonya, for those just joining us, Sonya is permanently banned right now because of a bug where she does way too much damage under certain circumstances.
When you said she was permanently banned, I was like, wait, like forever?
Forever. No Sonya ever again.
That would suck. I really like seeing Sonya in competitive.
I know.
There's so many good Sonya players. But anyways, Illidank squad cutting into their time a little bit here on their first ban. Guess we'll see. They banned Zool. On Tires of Doom, I like this a lot because once you seize control of the map, he can sort of act as a death grip.
Yeah. No, it's very true. I can imagine that, like we were talking about earlier, if the current PTR patch goes live tomorrow, we may see specialists first pick first ban, like as normal, which would be a huge departure from what we have now, which is kind of the ban the mage meta.
Honestly, I'd be very, very confused if we didn't see specialist bans with the new patch that's on the PTR right now. So, so we are going to see an Illidan ban from Meme Team. So this leaves Illidank squad with Kale if they want. They just played Kale, or no, never mind. Sorry, Meme Team just played Kale. So Illidank squad getting the chance to play Kale, and they will take it.
They will take it. They want that. Not a surprise, as Kael'thas is ridiculous, and especially fighting in these close quarters around the shrines. Flame Strike, Living Bomb just does massive damage.
I wonder if we'll see maybe a Sylvanas here. The Falstat's great on this map, especially.
Especially for the triple shrine captures. Yeah. Falstat is absolutely amazing, as he can quickly either cap the close shrine or the bottom shrine and then fly to whatever he's needed.
Yeah, and we're going to see Rhaegar. So I think maybe Meme Team, if we don't see a support pick here from Illidank, I think we can expect to see a support ban. at the midpoint, and it's probably going to be Uther. I have to admit we don't see a lot of Karazim in Chair League.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's that support players just like aren't comfortable with him. He is my favorite support, hands down. So if you guys are listening to this, like, please play more Karazim. It's good. It's good for you. I swear, it's good for you.
Oh, Illidank grabbing both mages.
Oh, come on, let's go triple mage.
Yeah, grab the Jaina, or heck, grab Chromie.
Yeah, probably Chromie over
Why not?
Jaina, I would say, but
Why not?
not a lot of great setup for the Chromie. Now that Zool is off the table, you definitely could Muradin. The reliable route, though, from Zool, as we've seen in previous games, TBK, just so good for Chromie.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Nazebo can actually kind of fill that as well with the zombie wall. I've definitely seen that combo well, but you just don't see a whole lot of Zebo play right now.
That's kind of interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm. It works really well.
There we go. Illidank squad proving me wrong that none of the heroes on my shirt would be selected.
Ha! They heard
Diablo.
you. They were like,
good.
"Oh yeah, Josh."
Although no, Kerrigan got played too last game, so the only one we're missing now is Arthas, which I kind of actually Arthas is pretty good on this map.
Arthas is decent right now.
I think Arthas is pretty good on this map, honestly.
I could see this. I'd be okay with this.
All right, so I think we'll probably see a support ban here because Illidank did not pick it up.
Probably. Uther would be a very good ban to deny that Divine Shield to either the Kael'thas or the Li Ming to keep them from getting bursted down.
You almost worry...
Brightwing could be a possible ban as well to keep away the global presence.
I think you almost worry, like... If your meme team, you're like, are they going to go solo support Tyrande? And I do not condone that. But you see that...
I do not condone that.
I do not condone Tyrande as a solo support, or really ever. And we do see a Brightwing ban, so you beat me. Good job.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, right? They're denying that other global presence. And since Illidank's already got the Diablo, they would have to take it to Haka to match the global presence, and I don't know if that really fits into their comp or not.
Ooh,
It could.
Aka, eh?
They've got the damage. I mean, they do. Between Li Ming and Kael'thas, they have the damage they need, and they've got tons of lockdown and kind of frontline ability with Diablo, and if you got the Dahaka too. So, I mean, Dahaka and it heals. It could work.
I guess we'll see if you're an oracle for that too, as you predicted the Brightwing ban. I'm
ETC ban on Illidank squad side, not super surprising.
What do you think the Brightwing ban is targeting? Okay, probably that.
That's definitely part of it. I think more so just targeting the ability to kind of counter Falstad with the having extra people where you need them type thing.
I guess that's true.
Brightwing's not a bad healer right now either, and the shield build, which is the most popular on her, can be very powerful, especially on either Kael'thas or Li Ming, to give them that tank ability they need to finish people off, and we're gonna see Greymane. Yes. Sorry, I get really excited for Greymane because I've been playing him like non-stop recently, and I absolutely love Greymane.
I am really surprised that we haven't seen any of this hero in game one because, I mean, I guess we had Kerrigan, that's kind of like sort of encroached maybe a bit on his territory. And he's a wolf, so like that's not good.
We got Wolf Boys now.
Oh, we do have Wolf Boys. I think this is a good pick. Because now, if you're Illidank squad, you're like, okay, so we just chose two squishy mages, and there's going to be a Greymane in our backline.
Look at that, Josh.
There it is. Thank you so
that.
much, Illidank. Thank you so much.
They heard you.
I like this too because you get burst damage coming in from Falstad Greymane, so you could definitely go Palm, especially on these squishy mages.
Oh, for sure.
You also, if we see a noob solo tank, we could also see seven-sided. So I definitely like this pick. And Karazim, and there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Illidank squad, I love your comp so much.
Oh my gosh, that is a fantastic comp.
Not
This
only
is oh,
like
this is
not
so
only
good.
are the Vikings really good on this map though, but they're actually really good with kerosene because Circle of Life counts each of the Vikings as a hero.
Yep.
So it actually extremely buffs Kerasim's healing if they're in the area. So I love this. I really hope Illidank squad has a good Vikings player because that's the thing about Vikings. Like, they're great on paper. You have to have somebody who's really comfortable with them. And there it is. You
Wow.
called it.
Holy crap.
Dude, are we doing this draft? Are you drafting for one of these teams?
Maybe?
Like, I think I just drafted Illidank squad. And then you drafted Meme Team, and like, here we are. That's uncanny.
Wow. I'm going to
Uncanny.
give you an internet high five for that one.
Internet high five received and returned.
Man, okay,
sir.
so Meme Team has a lot of global presence.
A
And
scary
that's
amount.
really scary on this map. That's incredibly scary.
You know what's really scary? Illidank is playing Vikings, and they have to play against Dahaka. And Dahaka's going to just be everywhere. So is Falstad. Falstad's going to be everywhere.
Yep.
So
it'll be interesting to see if that global presence of Meme Team can kind of offset those Vikings in a way.
well, Falstad's pretty good at dealing with Vikings. Dahaka is pretty good also. He doesn't really have the damage output to kill the sturdier Vikings unless they're completely unattended or they can get dragged into a tower or something. But yeah, like, I mean, the Falstad's going to be able to wipe out especially Eric and Baylog, and I mean, whoever's playing Vikings for the side of Illidank squad, like, you have a trial ahead of you, sir. Like,
it's gonna be
rough.
rough, but at the same time, Vikings are incredibly strong for shrine pushes, especially the triple shrines.
Yeah,
And I know they're trying to offset that some with the Dahaka and the Falstad, so it'll be interesting to see if Meme Team's picking of that offsets the Vikings.
I'm also just really generally worried about Meme Team. Like, how do you go in? Like the Lee Min Kael'thas damage is going to be insane.
Yeah.
It's like going to be so much burst, and if the Diablo picks up Falstad or Greymane or even Dahaka, like, honestly, even Dahaka, that person is in mortal peril right away. And Nubrak should be able to burrow out before the end of the stun, but the other people on that team are in a lot of danger. So
Yeah.
it's
All right.
two very interesting comps going up against one another, and I think we're going to really have to look to the Greymane on the side of Meme Team to carry a lot of this damage in team fight.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If Illidank can pick that Greymane off, that's going to really hurt their damage output. Or if Li Ming can get those resets, then that could really hurt too. A Nubarak, though, is incredibly strong against this team because of his dampened magic.
Yeah, Dampen Magic's going to play a big role. I don't know that there's necessarily a really good Cocoon target. So I feel like we could see Locust Swarm here just for the sustain.
Could be. Karazim could be a decent Cocoon target, though.
I feel like the issue with the Cocoon is that if the Vikings are around, it's going to die really fast. Like, really, really fast.
That's true.
So that's kind of my issue with the Cocoon.
Assuming the Vikings don't stay in soak for a good period of time, because we could see Vikings just soaking because Illidank's got some really good poke. So we could see technically long, drawn-out team fights.
Yeah, I guess in that way, Cocoon is a sort of a better early game choice in the sense that late game, like, the Vikings will be around.
Yeah.
Post 20, the Vikings are going to be in your face constantly. So,
what do you think we'll see? Do you think we'll see play again, or do
Yeah.
you think we'll see the ship?
I don't think you need the longboat. I actually really like the longboat. I'm gonna call that right now. Longboat used to be the meta when I was playing Vikings a lot, and it's really fallen out of favor a lot. And I think a big part of that is you need to make sure that you want to make sure the Vikings are there when they need to be there. Having said that, I don't know that the boat is even needed here. it would seem to me it might even be better to just get
I
into
think
the
they
back
have
line.
plenty of damage.
Yeah.
I think Illidank's got plenty of damage.
Yeah, I think you take play again if you're comfortable using it. If you're not, then boat is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Honestly. The boat does
sure.
so much damage, like you actually never see it anymore, but when you do, it's like pretty astounding how much damage it does. It does a lot. So
You only got, if you destroy it, you stun all the Vikings, and that's like
yeah.
almost insta-dead Vikings. So that's kind of the downside of the boat now.
Arguably against this team, maybe not, but I guess Falstad, Greymane, Qs both do a fair amount of
Lots
area
of
damage. So
All right, on the side of Meme Team, we have Sintage on Dahaka, Subak on Greymane, Glucose Twig on Rhaegar, Garuda 1 on Falstad, and Korakov on Anubarak.
and on the side of Illidank squad, we have Chessluder, who's playing Artanis last game, playing the Vikings. A
Yes!
little bit of an unorthodox player. I like it. The Dickens playing Li Ming. Decimate playing Kael'thas. Ulf again on that Karazim, and Shirlune is going to be playing Diablo. A very different tank than the Johanna he was just playing.
Yes. And props to us for doing much better on the names this time around.
I mean, we try.
We do try. Only the best for you guys.
So we see Viking bribery for the Vikings. So level 1.
Ooh. So look to be seeing some of those camps stolen. Vikings have split up to triple lanes already. And that's the nice thing about the Vikings, is that as long as you can keep them alive, you can pretty much have a 4-man roaming gank squad. And with that Diablo, that's a very powerful gank squad.
Yeah, and the strategy against that would be to try and pick off Viking. I think we might see that now. Falstad is going top to at least soak that. Chessluder gets wind of that, and Olaf's is gonna just take a step back for the moment.
Both mages down at the bottom just trying to pressure Dahaka, and Sintage kind of in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to pull back. I think he's going to be able to make it okay, but man, so much damage going down onto him right off the bat.
Nice instincts from Decimate to be like, no, he's still here, come with me. And they, like you said, they got some damage and they didn't secure the kill. Got to be careful though, Subak going to get hit by the Shadow Charge. But now Diablo way ahead of his team. He is going to be able to walk out. Ulf doing some punching and healing, as Karazim is wont to do.
Yeah, honestly, so far, Mean Team's doing a really good job at making sure that they are soaking just as well, even with the Vikings. Nice tongue onto Diablo. They're going to pull him back and finish him off quite easily. And this is unfortunate timing as the altars are spawning, but Diablo should be back up in time for that.
Yeah, so the good news is that Illidank doesn't really have to choose between losing XP or contesting the shrines or the altars because they have Vikings. They're going to soak top and mid. I'm not sure if they're really going to... There's a possibility of gank mid, but it doesn't look like that's going to be what Meme Team does. They're going to make sure to get bottom, it looks like, but Illidank squad has correctly guessed that is the strategy here. But they will just barely stop it. The Radiant Dash from Ulf stops it. Now it's a 4-on-4. Well, it's actually a 3.3 on 4 in the bottom, and now Kael'thas just absolutely destroyed with a drag. And Ulf is going to be next if he doesn't... Yeah, he uses the poor man's cleanse on himself to get out of there, the protective shield.
Yeah,
but
Shalom coming down just in time. Sintage doing an absolutely amazing job with those tongue hooks. Gets another one on the Dickens and Li Ming. And even though Greymane fell, they were able to... Meme Team was able to pull off 2 altars with the Vikings being against them. That's pretty damn good.
Meme Team actually played it pretty well because they stacked bottom. Falstad was top. Falstad can sort of make space for himself with his E and his Q, so they were like, okay, we'll stack bot, we'll get that, and then if we have to, we'll go up. And Illidank squad fighting 3 and a Viking, it just wasn't enough in that bottom altar.
But they were able to get the soak. So even though they're down 1 kill, they are just a tiny bit ahead in XP. I like Korakov kind of watching this. Li Ming's going to run right into him, and he is the tank that you want to be fighting the mages right now.
Yeah, and Ulf is not willing to just give it up. He goes in, he's going to punch a noob. A noob taking so much damage. Korakov has to get out of there. I do want to call it the talent since it looks like this is going to be a disengage for Meme. Actually, Garuda going around. Garuda getting a little bit cheeky there as he hits basically the whole team with his Q, but not really going to be able to get anything off of that. But what I want to mention, Eric the Swift selected at 4, which increases Eric's movement speed by 10%, and he heals as long as he's moving.
That sounds like a cheat.
It is kind of cheeky.
Beautiful gravity lapse onto Garuda with a nice barrel roll out of there, and he actually did take. I thought he did, but he did. He confirmed updraft, extra barrel roll range and shield amount. I was like, dang, he went really far, but yeah, that would be why.
Yep, and Baylog in the middle getting chased off by Rhaegar. Feels bad to be chased off by Rhaegar in any way. So 2 altars spawning mid and bot, and it looks like both teams are gonna just, for the moment, they're gonna just posture around the middle. Shirlune does pick up Subak, but now he's in the middle of the enemy team taking so much damage. Gravity Labs, Decimate completely whiffs. Shirlune gets hit by the burrow charge. The cleanse comes out onto Shirlune just to try and keep him from getting CC'd. Ulf getting so low, and he will die, and I think he's gonna die for his team as everybody else gets up.
Yeah, and not only that, Dahaka on the bottom during that entire thing just completely stole the bottom altar out from underneath Illidank squad.
Yeah, so that's a big win for Meme Team, because not only do they win the team fight, but they get both altars. They now find themselves up 12 HP on their opponents in terms of core health. And this is just overall looking pretty good for Meme Team.
Yeah, this is not something you want to see as Illidank squad when you have the Vikings. They're almost a full level behind right now. And,
yeah,
and not only that, Meme Team just stole the offensive Merc camp.
Yeah, this is kind of a rough situation to be in as Illidank, because like you said, you expect to get a little bit more from Vikings, and so far the Vikings they're doing well in terms of soak, but like it hasn't given them the advantage, like you said. They've basically lost team fights, and they haven't been able to capitalize elsewhere,
and that may change at level 10. That totally could change once these ults start coming out.
I expect it will.
The other thing is Diablo, until you build up those stacks, can be a fairly squishy tank.
Yeah, and we're sort of seeing that as Shirlune has been going into the middle of the enemy team, landing off on a good shadow charge, but he gets hit pretty hard because the gray main and the fall stat damage is quite substantial, and then if you get hit by a drag, it's pretty much lights out.
Yeah. All right. Next altars are spawning. Looks like Meme Team will be level 10 for these altars. I don't think Illidank will quite make it. It's going to be super close. They're going to try, and I mean, best case right now, with Meme Team being 10, they're going to have to try and get their own altar.
They should be okay because they have Vikings, so
they're very close to 10 themselves.
In the top, though, we actually do see Isolation go out onto Ulf. He will be blown up. The Greyman ult goes down. Oh, wow. Olaf barely gets away, just scoots away. But at this point, it looks like Illidank is going to actually lose both these altars. The Dickens blown up near the Illidank squad altar on the right side. And Olaf ultimately does fall too. That sucks.
Both blown up and blown out, as Gust actually ended up securing that kill completely, slowing down. And we do see Pyroblast, but the Ancestral goes out on Subak just in time to save him from that. Shirlune, gets tongued and is completely blown up by Greymane. And this is going to secure Meme Team probably both of these altars again.
Yeah, so they do actually get both now. Illidank trying to make something happen. Dickens, the palm from Ulf connects. Can they turn it around? So much mage damage now. It's starting to really take a toll on the side of Meme Team, and it looks like we want to get out of here. Ulf not willing to let him go. Ulf is kicking them as they try and leave. Baylog on the other side. The ult does go down from Diablo. It hits Korokov. Korokov is very low. I think the bomb should secure it. No, it doesn't with the W.
Eric!
Yep. Oh, and Baylog, did he just die to the tower? Like, what even happened there?
Again, the isolation goes out, but they are able to get Greymane this time, pushing Sintage back, and it looks like they actually may end up stealing this altar.
Wow, that did not seem to be what was going to happen there.
I just looking at the beginning of that team fight, I don't think you could have called that. But Meme Team put so much effort into that enemy altar that no one had bothered going back once they grabbed it to get their own altar in time. And by then, everybody from Illidank's squad was back up, and so they were able to just start picking people off.
I want to watch that fight again.
I know. That was such a long, drawn-out fight.
Ooh, and Sintage going to get hit by the Shadow Charge, flipped over. I'm sorry, you have been suplexed. You are a suplex bug.
Yeah.
You are going down.
Yeah.
The Dickens getting his reset. Feeling good about that disintegrate.
And see, and this is kind of what I was talking about. Illidank's team fight is really going to come into its own post 10. There's a lot of power in these mages, and there's going to be so much damage. Dickens. So much damage done, and they're just pushing away like crazy right now. Vikings still got Soak on the bottom. Level 13 has been reached for both teams, and this is really impressive. Even though they are now 6 kills down, they've equalized XP.
Yeah, and that is big, especially that you have Viking. Now there's a huge fight in the middle. Anubrak gets hit by the gravity left. Wow, huge Apocalypse goes down. Sintage very low. The Ancestral will save his life. Now all completely isolated from the team will go down, and that is a bad time to lose your support.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Altar spawn in 10 seconds. The palm was not used. But oh no, Subak getting caught out is going to go down, and this should actually even things up quite a bit, as Subak is a large chunk of Meme Team's damage.
Yeah, so Illidank squad, they don't have their support. They do have Vikings, and they have a longboat, and all the Vikings are here. So we might see that in a moment. They do suplex
There it
Sintage.
is.
Longbow comes out. It's focused on Sintage for the moment. They need to be careful. They're very low. Shirloon just trying to box out for his team. Korokov now taking a lot of damage. And I'm not sure if they can really hold this, but no, Ulf is back, TBK.
That was a beautiful burrow by Sintage to dodge that orb that probably would have killed him.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that no one died in that engagement is actually super impressive in and of itself. But I love Illidank's squad really coming back from this. Shaluna kind of out a little bit. Nice grab onto Subak, forced to roll away and use that Eyes in the Dark to stealth back. I absolutely love that talent. That has saved me as Greymane way more times than I can count.
I really love this move from Illidank. They sniff out the camp. They're going to just be able to go in here and
Yeah.
take it. I don't think Meme
The Hawk
Team
is up top. They're not going to be able to contest this. And they can really take both of these Merc camps. And there's not a whole lot that Meme Team can do about this.
And we do have tunnels open, so that will potentially help Vikings specifically quite a bit, because it helps them get back into soaking position pretty fast. So something to watch out for. But at this point, like you said, XP pretty even. Kills definitely in favor of Meme Team, but the structures pretty even also.
Yeah,
so.
and this is the power of the Vikings, right? If the Vikings weren't here, they would probably be a good level and a half behind. Just based on what's happened.
And honestly, the Vikings have died 5 times. Like 5 Vikings lost. So, and actually in the bottom, huge Apocalypse trying to save Shirluna, but it doesn't happen. Ulf doesn't get the palm on himself or on Shirluna. He gets blown up. Decemberate.
Oh!
He tries the Pyroblast, but no good.
Oh, it was the Pyroblast to the face.
Oh, it actually killed the Greymane.
Went
I didn't
off.
even realize
yeah,
it.
it went off. Like,
I thought he
Greymane
died.
just disappeared. But unfortunately, Meme Team is going to grab that fort in the bottom, claim it as their own, and this is horrible timing for Illidank's squad, because even though Greymane's gone, they are missing 2 of their people, and 3 altars are up.
Ooh, and Garuda is looking to cap the top. The Vikings moving to intercept, but I think these Vikings might die. Meanwhile, Dickens just keeping Karakov from turning around, but the Vikings in a lot of trouble. I think they're going to sacrifice their life to buy time. Longbow comes out in the left.
Yep, single longboat. And Meme Team, on the other hand, just completely zoning them out on this side too. Oh, Dahaka, the Ancestral does not land. He is going to die, and this is really bad for Meme Team. If they can keep Shrloon alive, which they didn't, Gus to disengage, and that was actually an amazingly played fight by Meme Team, even though the Dahaka died fairly early. And not only that, they managed to grab 2 altars that netted them 10 shots because of that bottom 4 capture.
It feels so much like after the burst comes out from Illidank squad, that Meme Team is able to do what they want. The Grey Main is able to kind of get what he wants, going in, applying a lot of pressure. So I don't know how you fix that with this composition, but so far Subak has been kind of a scary customer for the backline of Illidank squad.
So Illidank grabbed their fort back, so that's good. They definitely needed to do that. They don't want these 5-shot towers coming out. The Pyroblast going on to Subak doesn't quite end up killing him. You gotta love Decimate though. He's definitely living up to his name.
Yeah, ooh, great combo from Diablo. The Apocalypse hits nothing. Gus to disengage. It looked for sure like Horokov was going to die, even though he had Burrow Charge, but not quite enough. He was barely outside the Apocalypse.
That ended up being super nice for him. He was able to burrow just far enough that he didn't come up in the Apocalypse. He doesn't have Burrow right now, though, and he's taking so much damage. The Ancestral does land this time. Shrloon getting caught out. The palm does go off, but in vain, unfortunately, as 5v1 is never a good time.
You can save your Diablo with a palm, but yeah, if he's surrounded by the enemy team, he's probably not going to get out. So good palm from Ulf, but ultimately did not affect anything. And now the Vikings just completely grouped up and destroyed by the Burrow Charge. Decimate trying to get out of here, but
Isolate just completely locking him down. Really good shot by Sintage. They're going to actually rotate up and probably do this boss. And there's really nothing that can stop them from doing this right now. Li Ming can kind of come in and poke, and if she gets a reset off this could be really bad for Meme Team. Sintage extremely low. Gus coming in to try and save it, but everyone is so low. Sintage goes down. The Dickens trying to get a kill in for the reset. Subak insanely low as well, but somehow survives. Glucose keeping everybody up. I don't know how. Just Rhaegar thing. I thought Li Ming was going to get just reset after reset and just mow everybody down.
I thought that was about to be the Li Ming show, but instead it was the...
It was the Grey Main show.
It was the Grey Main show, for sure. So.
But, I mean, Towers of Doom. Towers of Doom, there is no more 3 altar spawns. Anything is comebackable in Towers of Doom.
Yeah, but what a road, though, TBK. Like
it's rough. It's going to be rough.
They're about to be missing 20. Like, Meme Team's going to hit 20. Any altar will kill them, basically, except if they have 0 forts, which doesn't seem likely at this point. And as I say that, Shrloon gonna try and engage. Good Apocalypse body block, gets the stun on Subak, but no, Diablo just disappears. Subak gets the Ancestral, and it's like this fight never, the engagement never happened. Like,
yeah. Again, just Glucose being completely on point with those Ancestrals. Subak just went in, went crazy, and just trusted Rhaegar to get him the Ancestral where he needed. Gus goes out, ends up knocking back 2 of the Vikings. They are going to both just get completely blown up. Viking and Li Ming, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, the Li Ming getting hit by that Gus that's the nail
horrible
in the coffin.
timing.
Yeah.
And this is the last one, and there's really nothing they can do about it. Eric with this slingshot, he says no.
Aww.
But Meme Team says yes.
Ulf with the palm. No. Nice try.
I do like the stop. Everyone's just like, we're just gonna dance, wait for that palm to stop, and jam.
Good palm discipline from Meme Team, and that's gonna be it.
Man, it looked like Illidank was really gonna pull something out there in the middle. Like, yeah, their burst and their team fight was extremely strong, but in just at the end of the day, they were never able to finish people off cleanly. And Glucose on that Rhaegar just hit Ancestrals so perfectly. It just
Yeah.
allowed Subak on Greymane to just destroy everything.
Like the burst from the double mage was quite big, but like I said when we were casting it, I felt like after that initial burst was spent, there just wasn't enough follow up. Like there needed to be a good Diablo combo into Kael'thas stun and then burst, or it felt like you said like tracking down kills was difficult for them after that initial burst. So kind of a rough situation all around. I think like the other thing I guess we should point out is that the Vikings didn't give them that early advantage. It sort of mitigated the initial team fight losses that they experienced, but it wasn't. It didn't get them ahead like you normally
No.
see from Vikings.
And that's just super unfortunate. Like I feel like even with the Vikings pick, the meme team comp just countered it so well.
Yeah, yeah. I really do think like that. It didn't seem at first like meme team was doing a great job of victimizing the Vikings, but it also felt like the Vikings were forced pretty much from the 8th minute of the game to respond constantly to team fights. And that was where they got blown up. Like Dahaka was doing quite a bit, the Q from the Falstad, and even the Greymane Q. Like if the Vikings are grouped up, that's a lot of damage for one
Yeah.
ability. So
Yeah, it really
who
is.
would you give the MVP to on the meme team side?
Um on the meme team side, I would say probably Glucose.
Oh, for those ancestrals.
Like the Ancestrals were such a key part, and just the healing in general was such a key part of that. Like that boss fight
Yeah.
could have been a massive turning point in the game for Illidank squad. Li Ming was there. Everyone on meme team was low, but they somehow were able to pull it out and keep Li Ming from being able to get any resets. And all four of them, one of them died, yes, but four of them lived with almost no health. And because usually that's the Li Ming smorgasbord, right?
Yeah.
And so the fact that they were able to play around that and keep that from happening, because that could have easily been a 5-man wipe right there.
Yeah. I think even in the other game we saw that it seemed like most of meme team was very comfortable with like Glucose's healing style. Like Subak, we've seen trust him a couple times with his life where he like knew that the ancestral's coming, I just need to wait, or else the ancestral's not available, but I trust him to hit me with the chain heal when I need it. So I think generally Glucose's play just letting the rest of his team play a lot better and play very comfortably around him. So
Yeah, that was a very good game.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the Viking comp didn't work out, because that would have been a fun comp.
yeah, I thought that I thought the double mage Vikings was kind of an interesting pick, and like I said, I don't think it really worked out the way we wanted it to. In situations where we were able to get a longboat, I felt like it was a lot better because there was sustained damage. That
The
helped
problem
out
is
a
the
lot with
longboat
mages.
only really happened once.
Yeah, there's like one really good
Because
one.
that bottom fight where it happened, it did a ton of damage and it really pushed meme team back. But it was just never able to happen the way they wanted it to again.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, huge grats to meme team. They will be